Alhamdulillah, I was given the opportunity to be involved in the Women's Boat to Gaza in 2016.
Yes.
And as was expected, the boat was kidnapped, or we were kidnapped in international waters, about 35 nautical miles from Gaza shores. And as you can see, the Israeli occupying forces, they are only strong against the weak, like the women, the children, and they came with full force. As we were approaching Gaza, we saw 3 big naval ships surrounding our sailboat. It is only a sailboat that brought 13 women, and majority are fairly old women, above 50 years old,
Yes, wise
and
woman.
wise women. And we were not bringing anything. In fact, we were throwing away in the sea our big knives that we were using to cut meat and so on and so forth. So because we do not want the Israeli forces to make allegations that this women's boat to Gaza is bringing weapons and so on and so forth. So we threw most of our sharp things, and of course when they came and on board, they ransacked our boat, our small boat, and all of us were being locked up, or sort of locked up on the deck of the ship, of the boat, of the sailboat. And being prepared for this occasion, we already boiled about 60 eggs, and we already make sure we have enough water on the deck, enough water, enough food, and enough fruits that is already being cut. As you say, as I told you before, all the sharp knives is already been thrown in the sea. And we were actually captured or blocked or imprisoned in the small deck and not allowed to move anywhere else in the boat. And I was told also the stories of how the people in the West Bank, when they raided them at night, all the family members are usually kept in the same room, in one room, and they are not allowed to move around in their own house. They can't even go to the toilet without having permission from the Israeli forces. So that's what happened to me as well. We were sort of kept together. First of all, we were kept on the deck, and we were guarded by all the Israeli Navy forces, and we were not allowed to move. We were not allowed to move about, you mean? I mean, and even if I wanted to go to the toilet because I want to take wudu, it's time for me to do prayers. That also we had to take permission from the officer, and the toilet is just down the few stairs. Even then I was escorted, and the army was waiting outside the door of the toilet, waiting for me to do wudu and do my natural call. And Alhamdulillah, my boat leader, who is Enright, who was the ex-ambassador of Israel, of USA, the United States, and also she was ex-colonel in the US Army, and she was the one who asked the permission from the Israeli forces, saying that I'm going to do my prayer and I will do some movement and so on and so forth. So to that extent, that our freedom is being taken away and ripped away. This is what happened to the people of Palestine. Okay, you were asking whether they were tough and rough on us. We were actually already have decided that we will tell them that we are not supposed to be, if they want to cuff us, we wanted it to be cuffed with our hands in front instead of the back, because many of us have osteoarthritis and so on and so forth. So, but Alhamdulillah, all these army personnel are wearing GoPro, recording all what happened and recording on how good treatment they were with us, the women. And I think this is the propaganda. Again, as you know, Israeli has got a lot of false narrative, and they want to make sure they show to the world that they are kind to the woman. Whereas at the same time when they caught us, they were actually bombing and they were raiding the people in Palestine, in Gaza and so on. So it is very much contradictory. They are just trying to portray to the world that they are good to the people, but they are actually not. Because we were prepared, because we knew that even though Malaysia has got no diplomatic relationship with Israel, we knew we can sort of hang on to the mission members, other mission members that have a very strong tie with Israel, like US, Australia, Norway, Sweden. So basically, we were told what's going to happen, and I think it is not so much of a fear of being tortured or something like that, but it's more of fear that I may mention information that is affecting other people.
Right.
That's my main fear actually. Well, after we were caught, we went through several process of examination and questions and so on, and we were not allowed to bring anything except for the bag that we have, and we were actually questioned many things, and we were forced to sign the deportation letter saying that we actually wanted to come to Israel, and we were caught. So of course we protested because we were not, we did not intend to come to Israel. We intend to go to Gaza, but we were kidnapped in international water illegally. So definitely we were standing by our what our mission was supposed to be. So when they forced us to sign the declaration or the deportation letter, as what our two Al Jazeera reporter and cameraman has done, I was the first person to be interviewed or to be questioned. I was actually being pressed on to sign the document, the deportation letter, and one after another officer with a higher ranking coming to press me. At one point I was about to sign, but I remember I should not be signing any document, and I went and asked my boat leader, Miss Enright. So she told me, I asked them the permission, can I ask my friends what I should do? They said, okay, you can go and ask. So I asked Anne, what should I do? They have been pressing me, and this highest official has come and pressure me with a stern warning that I will be in jail if I don't sign. So Anne, Alhamdulillah, has actually comforted me, saying that don't worry, Fauziah, we'll be together, inshallah, and we will actually be together in the jail, and we will do the due process so that we will be released together. With the journalists, it's okay because they have their bosses with instruction for them to go and be deported immediately. So I told the officer again that I'm not going to sign the deportation letter, and the officer was really angry with me because he has wasted some time making sure, shouting at me and say, okay, now you go to jail. I said, all right, I'll go to jail. And immediately they have put me in a small van with closed, no doors, no opening doors, and it's all black, and the door is so heavy metal, when they bang you, it go boom. So initially I thought I was going to be put in solitary confinement because I was alone. But after 10-15 minutes, my other friend comes and more joining us in the van. And of course we were driven to Givon prison in Ramley. I have been to Gaza twice, and my third attempt was 2016 when I was caught. Gaza is called an open air prison, or the largest open air prison, because they were blockaded from air. Of course there is no airport, the airport is gone, from sea and land. So it's all, and there was walls that separated Gaza, and as you can see, the walls are being broken down on October 7 attack. So it is imprisoned because of that. And in 2020, the United Nations has already declared that Gaza is no longer suitable to be inhabited by 2020, which was 3 years ago. But the population becomes more and more, and now it's 2.3 million people. And of course, even though they are being imprisoned, sort of, the life is buzzing. There are restaurants, there are hotels, there are seashore, the beach. But the beach, if you stand on the beach, you can see the lights standing right. And we were asking, what are the lights? Those lights are. Those are actually the Israeli Navy. Because for the fishing line, how many miles in the sea that they are allowed to fish, it's only 10 to 15 nautical miles. So you can see in the picture, the fish is so small because it's not deep water. Because if any fisherman goes beyond that nautical mile, they are being shot. Immediately, and sometimes they are being humiliated. They ask them to strip and swim back to Gaza, or their boat is being shot and there is hole, so it's all going to be not functioning. And you know it's not easy to repair boats and all the equipment for fishing. So this is the thing that they are saying, that they are in prison. Another thing that we observe is that there are a lot of balloons in the sky. So we were asking, what are the balloons? What are they? All the balloons carry cameras looking over what other people are doing. It's round white balloons and so on. So on top of that, with the balloons, there are cameras. So you are being watched all the time. What you do, your thinking. That's why if they want to target somebody, they have the camera. They know when it's coming exactly, and they target. So actually, I was told in the West Bank also they do the same thing. Each colonial or settler's house, they are usually built on the hill, and they have arrows to sort of see who are the below you, who are the Palestinians, what they're doing, or how you can control. So basically, all the Palestinians are being controlled, being watched. So that's what happened in a jail, right? Yes. Your freedom is being restricted, and you are being watched, and you are being told what to do and what not to do. So now Gaza is a different, with all the other attacks, this attack is unprecedented. You know, with relentless bombing and destruction of all the structures, houses, hospitals, telecommunications, schools, mosques, churches, you name it, everything is being destroyed. Bakeries, how can they make food if the bakeries are being bombed? So it's total destruction, and as I always said, the Israel or the Zionists has got two main objectives. One is to take the whole of the land from the Furat or the Euphrates to the Nile. So that's why the flag has got two blue lines. The blue lines are the river Furat or river Euphrates, and the other one is Nile. So the area between that they want to control. Number one. Number two is to eradicate the Palestinian from Palestine. So now that's what they are doing, basically ethnically cleansing the Palestinian from their land. Boycott, people say, always say that I'm the only person boycotting one thing. But you must remember that little drops make an ocean. So if you cannot do anything else beside dua, beside prayers, we can boycott. It is a non-violent thing, and it is your choice what you want to boycott. Caltex. And there are other things, other alternatives that you can use. Boycott hurt Israel economy. As I was mentioning before, 360,000 reservists were called by the Israeli to fight the Hamas in Gaza. 360,000 people is 10% of their workforce. And the Israeli government has to support the family. Each of these 360,000 people, they have to support them. So if you hurt Israelis' economy, they will feel the pinch. And also I was reading there is this Haredi group of Jews where they produce a lot of children. They have 6-7 children in a family, and only minority of their men do actually work. The rest are all sponsored by the government. They produce a lot of children because there is a fight between the demography between the Jews and the Muslims. Fight of demography. At the moment, they are at par, and Israel has planned to bring about 500,000 people coming in to offset this demography. Okay, so definitely the economy will hurt the Israeli government with all this sponsorship that they have to bear, and also they are going to bring more people coming in, but with the war. Because the Israeli were saying that Israel is a peaceful, nice place, secure, we have the walls, don't worry about the security. But now, with the October 7 happenings, people are very scared. In fact, you can see their previous Prime Minister also, Ehud Barak also left Israel because they don't feel secure. So their plan of demographic war may actually become a failure. Well, UK and US have their interests in the Middle East, and they actually formed this colonial settler state in the middle of the two continents, where it is last time it is the Khalifa, the empire of the Muslim, the East and the African, and that is the heart that is actually joining these two. So of course it is very strategic, geographically, politically. So that's the place where these two superpowers have taken and put their interest there. Recently I went to Turkey. The name of the place is Incirlik, and we went to show a demonstration against the military base, US military base in Turkey. And when we found out that the US military base was founded in 1951, which means 3 years after the illegal state of Israel was born. So they already put a military base there. And at the military base, there were the equipment, the bombs, the equipment, all military equipment is kept there and being flown to Israel. So the bombs are kept there. I was told, I don't know, the nuclear bomb is also kept there and can always be flown to Israel, maybe 2 hours from Turkey to Israel. It's so near. More and more people emigrate, go out of Israel instead of coming in. Okay, before the war, before the Taufan Al-Aqsa, we have been supporting Palestinian women in the empowerment and education. Especially Rose2Rose is an agency under Humanitarian Care Malaysia. We have been supporting many women empowerment, like bee harvesting, beehives, tomato planting, sheep, chicken, many things. So we actually have made good progress, and these people pay back. It is like a microcredit. So they pay back so that other people can have another project for us. We also have a psychological session. The doctor actually was also injured during the war, this coming war, and also some of her children also become shahid. So she has actually involved with a lot of psychological treatment with the woman, and also children, and also children with disabilities. So from that interview and from that treatment, we found out that a lot of the women are being traumatized, and we say post-traumatic distress disorder, but in Gaza there is no post because now it's ongoing.
Yeah, it's ongoing.
And we met some of the women was having stress from 2000 to 2008 war, and there is no treatment, so she was not able to express herself until we had the program last year. So she was so relieved that there is such a program. And we had an international conference in Kuala Lumpur twice during the COVID. We did it online. And during this year, 2003, in February, we did in Seremban. And the focus at that time was for the Palestinian prisoners. So we brought an ex-prisoner who was a woman who delivered while in captivity, and she explained what happened, and the child that was born in the jail was with her. Now is already 17, 18 years old and become an Hafiz and so on. So it was a good exposure for the Malaysian and many other people in the countries in Asia to come and listen to her, and also listen to other speakers to speak about the predicament of these Palestinian prisoners. They are actually being imprisoned for no reason, because sometimes you just held up a flag, Palestinian flag, you are caught, and sometimes you throw stone, you are caught, and you are not being tried in an open court. There is no open trial. That's why now with this war they captured, Allah gave them so many hostages, 250 hostages. So they bargain so that some of the people, Palestinian people in the Israeli jail can be released, because that's the only way to release them. Actually, it is. We have been trying to advocate, or we have been advocating the cause for Palestinian struggle for many years.
Yes.
And without much success. But with this war, Allah has opened up. Everybody sort of try to start to know what is actually happening. What happened 78 years ago? What happened? So they start to read and start to know who are these people. And you know, maybe looking at the positive side of it, I was told that there are so many people now converted to Islam or start to read about Islam, because why is these people so resilient and so, you know, your children are being killed in a very terrible ways, but you can still say Alhamdulillah, and you can still move on. You know, there's one journalist who actually, all the children are being killed in one bomb, but he still stand up the next day, start working. Did not have time to actually mourn for the loss of the family. So this resilient and these strong people in the face of so adversities and massacres that is happening, but they are still can function, triggers them. What makes them so strong? So a lot of people are now reading about Palestinian people, reading about Islam to know what is it. So I think we should look at the positive side of this, and if you look at the images and it's causing you some problem, maybe don't have to look at the images anymore, but learn or study why it has become like that. Looking at the images have made a lot of effects, because last time these images are being covered. I mean, the editor will actually edit and make the false or fake narrative from the Israeli point of view. But now the editor didn't have time to edit because the direct pictures of what is happening on ground zero goes viral throughout the whole world. So that's why you can see a lot of demonstration is happening. That's why I'm a bit frustrated in Malaysia, because we are not like the people overseas. They are non-Muslim, but they do demonstration every week. London, UK, Washington, wherever, Canada, Toronto, they do it every week because they want to pressure stopping the genocide, yes, stopping the war, and stop killing the children, and also they want aid to go in, yes, unimpeded, continuous aid to go into the people of Gaza, and a few of other things that they want us is to end the occupation, so that we can end this episode of again, because if you do not end the occupation, you have a truce, you have a ceasefire for how many years, 2-3 years, and again there will be another attack. So it's better to have a permanent solution so that the people can live on. These people have dreams, they want to achieve their dreams. So you can't be going back to ground zero and back in 50 years, because Gaza now maybe you have to put back 50 years, 60 years behind, because now it's all destroyed. It takes time to actually rebuild, and rebuild is number one. Number two is to clear off the rubble. I just came back from Turkey, so I visited the most affected area from the earthquake in February in Hatay, and I can see the rubble is still there. And Turkey being a country that is well equipped, even then they are not able to rebuild the houses yet for the people. So you can imagine in Gaza with very limited excavators and all the heavy machineries to clear off the rubble. At the moment we see people are using their bare hands to remove and get the people under the rubble. So I can imagine it will take a long time before it's being rebuilt. Another factor is that Israel is blockading all the building blocks to go in, because it takes a long time to rebuild Gaza because of this blockade. So end the occupation, end the blockade, allow unimpeded aid and all the necessities that human beings need to lead a normal daily life. A lot more has to be done, of course, and we are thankful to our PMX for speaking out and in front of Biden and us telling them that what double standards we are treating, or they are treating Ukraine war and the Gaza. I hope and urge all the people from whatever parties should be united in actually helping and working for Palestinian cause, and we should also work for trying to bring Netanyahu, maybe the whoever is complicit with this war, to actually be tried in the war tribunal, and because they have done a genocide and also crimes against humanity, no doubt about it. And we have to collect the evidences and brought up so that justice can be done for those people. More than how many? 13,000 people already shahid, and 6,000 among them are children. If you want to go to the mission in Gaza, if doctors or medical personnel, they can go to the website of Kementerian Kesihatan and put their names there. But at the moment, for us, we of course will take people who we know, because to go into a position in Gaza is not something like tourism, disaster tourism. No, you may die, you may get injured because of the bombing, and you may get injured because of the white phosphorus is around and they have been using uranium. I don't know what they are using, so sometimes it is not quite a safe, but not a safe place to go. A lot of dangers, but if you really want to go and help, of course you can go.